What's going on, guys? We're here at the 2025 Arnold Classic. Prejudging just wrapped up for the men's open, and we finished the Classic finals. So we're going to touch on it a little bit. Iain was wrong. He picked Brandon over Andrew, and I think they had Andrew over Brandon.
Show's not over.
Show's not over. Okay, anyways. So, quick assessment. What do you think of Samson?
I think he looked good. I personally don't think this was quite as good of a look as the Olympia. I think he was a hair sharp at the Olympia. I think he's bigger than the Olympia. So overall, pretty similar in competitiveness and package. Slightly bigger, not quite as crisp, I would say. I think he was a little underglazed, especially in the first couple rounds.
Seth, what do you think of Derek?
I thought he was much improved from the Olympia.
You have to move up to get his voice.
I think it was better than the Olympia. I think his legs look better. I think he looks more balanced. I still think that his upper body is a little bit, it is bigger than his lower half. However, I think he was sharper than a motherfucker. I think his conditioning is better than Samson's. It's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, but I still have Samson edging him out.
Paul, what did you, when you saw Andrew come out, what did you think?
Well, Andrew's so impressive when he first comes out. You see that silhouette and the crazy detail from the front. But when they compared him with Brandon, I was leaning towards Brandon myself. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. You know, I thought this is the best Brandon we've seen yet. But Andrew's impressive. I think there was improvements, but I still like to see more in the hamstrings. That's where I think he gives up a little bit.
The next week we had, as far as the call-outs go, they had Brandon in fourth. So I thought Brandon was really good. I thought it was one of the better Brandon packages. I think the only thing still hurting him is probably the detail and the lack of detail in the quads. Other than that, everything looked pretty good. He's really full, legs look balanced, just not enough detail there to pull him ahead of Andrew, in my opinion. After Brandon, we had Akeem. What do you think of Akeem?
I think it was a good Akeem. I don't think it's the best Akeem we've ever seen. I think from the front and the side, he was solid. I think we've definitely seen him a little harder through the glutes and hamstrings, but I think overall it was definitely a good Akeem. On the scale of best Akeems, best one being a 10, I put it's like a 8 out of 10 Akeem, you know.
Okay. Seth, after...
I still think he has room to improve overnight.
He will. Yeah.
We know that Akeem gets better.
Always gets better
the second day, always. I do think that, I don't know. I thought Brandon looked better than Andrew. Them putting those three out there and not putting Brandon in.
It's a statement.
Yeah, it's a statement.
Well, let's go from Akeem. What did you think of William?
I don't think it was,
time to get his voice if you can for me.
I don't think it was his best. However, he was still sharp. He's still sharp and he still can compete. So I think he was placed. I think he's right behind Brandon. So, but I still think Brandon is far in front of him.
Do you think William is ahead of Akeem, or Akeem is ahead of William?
I think Akeem's ahead of William.
Yeah. So you got Brandon, then Akeem, then William.
Then William. Yeah.
And then after that we had James. What do you think of James? I think James is behind William.
Yes.
What do you think of James?
I thought the look that James brought. I thought he brought a fuller look tonight. I thought, I thought he got a little bit better as he posed too.
Yeah.
I thought he was getting a little bit sharper as he posed. I think he's ahead of Sean right now, which I think for James is, it could be, not really a victory sort per se, but it's a good, it's a good sign for him. I thought James, I think it was a great package that he brought, but this is a really tough lineup. And I think, it's going to be hard to crack that top 4, top 5 for James, but I think he's right there, 6, maybe top 7 spot.
Okay. I think I had James more 8, 9, because I think we have Akeem. Akeem is 5, William 6. Yeah, that puts James 7, I think,
7,
right?
maybe.
Yeah, 7, 8.
I think I have Sean over James.
Yeah.
I love James. I don't think this is the best James we've seen.
No, I think
his tam was a bit light. I think he was a bit on the flatter side.
He also didn't have very much glaze at all.
His canvas glaze was a little light.
Yeah.
And I think he just, as a whole, looked on the lighter side.
Right.
Didn't have that kind of pop that we would like to see on a physique like James's. Sean looked great. But the quads are definitely being lost.
I noticed
there.
that too.
His upper body bursting full, conditioning as a whole was really good. In the back he was awesome, but the quads are definitely becoming a serious weakness. So that's definitely hurting him here. But he is also a smaller stature guy in a lot of the postures, so you get lost a little bit. But I have him in a place ahead of James, and I have James following up.
Okay, so we'll go through real quick and give our assessment of the top 3. So I heard online there's a lot of talk that Derek is winning. Derek is it's close. It's not a walk away for Samson, but in my opinion, Samson's size and symmetry is still far ahead, even though Derek has him in the condition. So the problem for me is Derek has improved everywhere except the quads from the front are still a problem, and I think that's what's hurting. If you go shot for shot, I think Samson is winning the front shots and the side shots. Derek is winning the back shots, and he's not winning the back lat spread by much. So going by that rationale, I would have to give Samson first, Derek second. I think Andrew is third ahead of Brandon, not by much. I think they played the condition card, and it left him a little bit lanky. But I still think because of the lack of detail in Brandon's quads, Andrew's able to kind of pull ahead. So that's my assessment of the top four.
I'm going to go against that.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I think I have Derek winning. I don't know if the judges have that way. They finished with Samson in the middle. It's the first day, though. Things can definitely, it's definitely anything can happen over the next 24
Can you
hours.
tell me, before you go on, can you tell me why you have Derek winning, other than condition?
Yeah, I think, obviously the conditioning, I think Derek's quads were improved enough for me, especially in a detail perspective. I think he was really good in a lot of shots. I think, Samson definitely beats him in like a most muscular, and definitely some of the front shots. But I think Samson's midsection did hurt him in a few shots. In his ab and thigh, when he's crouching down, it's not quite as tight in as I'd like to see it. And on his ab and his front lat, when he's pulling up, it's definitely losing a bit of detail, which I think hurts him as well. I do have him very close. It's like 3 poses to 4, 4 poses to 3, kind of opposing.
I think that to me the condition and the size is a wash, because it's like Samson is so much bigger than Derek in all of the poses, pretty much, except for maybe the back shots.
Yeah.
But Derek is far more conditioned, so those are kind of a wash. And then you go with the aesthetics or symmetry or balance, however you want to call it. And I have Samson ahead in that department. So if we're going with the 3 major criteria, that's kind of why I put Samson ahead of him.
Yeah, I see it, and you guys can disagree with me. I see Samson winning the front double. And
It's close.
Close on the front double.
It's
How
super
can it be close if Derek's legs are not
He's
balanced?
posing them well. The detail's not bad. His waistline and insertion into his lat and his flare is pretty outrageous.
I still think Samson wins it, but I think it's way closer.
Oh no,
than I
I'll
thought
give
it
you
was gonna be.
close. I'll give you
Oh
close.
yeah,
for
no,
sure.
it's close. I
Same
just
with
think-
the front lat. I think it's very close.
Okay, so
But
you're
that's not
giving
Samson's
them,
best shot.
but you're giving those to Samson. You're just saying you're close.
Front lat, I could make an argument for Derek.
Okay, keep going. Side chest and side try.
Side chest and side try, I'm going to give to Samson.
Okay.
But once again, very
They're
close.
close.
The
Yeah.
side try is closer than the side
Side
try.
check try, I think is very close. And Derek's side leg. So if anything, you could give Derek the side try, especially with the detail on the side leg is very, very good. Obviously, the back shots both go to Derek. Pretty, especially the back double is very dominating. Most muscular and ab and
But the
thigh.
back lat is not as dominating.
Not as, but I would still.
It is because of condition, but not because of anything else.
I don't quite agree. I think it's still very wide and dense, and I think from the waist down, his conditioning is outrageous. So I still have him. I would put that as a 10-8 pose for Derek in that show.
Oh no, I would. I go 10-8 on the back double. I go 10-9 on the back lat. Paul, what do you think?
10-9, I could even argue Samson if you would balance.
Yeah, well, if you're not talking about conditioning, the back lat spread, Samson is very, very good, especially with the hamstrings being as wide as they are.
Something
and
about how Samson hits the back lat when he pulls it. It's kind of like flushes out his upper back to me. I don't know if he's over rounding it or the position of his torso. Where Derek hits that post to me just absolutely perfectly.
Okay, well let's not go too far into the weeds. Sure. Before we go, I just want to know what you think. You haven't said much. What do you think of Derek and Samson?
I thought Derek dominated one pose, back double bicep. I thought the other poses were arguably either a draw or in Samson's favor slightly.
Okay, Seth.
I think that where Samson pulled ahead was the most muscular in the ab and thigh. The ab and thigh, just because of overall shape, the symmetry, like the entire shot as a whole, I don't think Derek's condition outweighs that. There's those 2 poses, but I think it's super close. I think that I still think Samson edges him out. But if Samson doesn't come in better tomorrow, and he stays the same, and Derek comes in.
I don't think Derek can come in better than he came in tonight.
I don't know. Maybe I didn't think he was going to be as good as he is tonight.
I did.
personally.
I expected this Derek. I know you guys didn't because you're like always.
Well, you aren't sure.
I don't know.
It's just
I
an
just-
unsure.
No. I know you guys were like, oh, he might have
It's just a not know.
he might have a new coach, and that. I expected the loss to bring that fire back.
Oh, for sure. I didn't know if he was going to peak the same way. His peak is fucking perfect.
It's perfect. Yeah.
So,
okay, so let's go around the horn real quick and before we wrap the video. Top 4.
It's
Right,
so-
right now. Because I know this tomorrow, but As of right now, what's your top 4?
Samson, Derek. I still like Brandon, but it was obvious they put Andrew. So Samson, Derek, Andrew, and Brandon.
But if you had your top 4 pick, you would go what? Samson, Derek, Brandon, Andrew?
It's close. It's a toss-up. It's 1A, 1B. I'm giving it to Samson overall shape and size. However, I think Derek can edge him out tomorrow. I think he can.
What are you doing top 4?
My top 4, not what the judges I think are going for. I'm going Derek, Samson, Brandon, Andrew.
If we're not going judges, yeah.
Your top. Oh, you're picking Derek.
If we're not going with the judging, if we're going my top 4,
Really?
I really like Derek's look tonight.
Okay.
He is fucking crispy.
Really?
I think he looks great.
I think the
Go ahead,
crispiness
Derek.
is awesome.
On my picks,
Your pick.
if I'm judging that show, it's for me. It's Samson, Derek, Brandon.
Well, that's why you're a pro judge.
Well, no, but you said Andrew, so now you're contradicting yourself.
Oh, you would go Brandon over
I would go
Andrew.
Brandon over
Okay.
So
well,
is he a pro judge or is he not a pro judge?
He's a pro judge. He knows more. He knows more than I do.
He only knows top 2 places.
Yeah, he
After
knows-
that,
yeah,
it's
I don't care.
I would go. Listen, you guys know I'm going to go Samson, Derek, and I kind of explained myself why. I really like. Listen, I don't think this is the best Andrew because he looks a little
the legs are way too down.
lankier than normal.
The legs are way down.
But I still think he's ahead of Brandon in my.
It was really cool to see them play the conditioning game with Andrew, just to see, because we were curious to as what he would look like, and I don't think it worked in their favor.
I agree.
with that.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, that's a wrap. We'll be back tomorrow after finals. Oh wait, before we go, really quick, I'll let you wrap it. What do you think of Classic?
Classic was great. I mean, I think the whole top 5 brought it.
Okay, I just want to say one thing. So he loves Mike's physique. I love Mike's physique. I just have to give a special mention to Logan.
100%. Yeah.
Listen, if
he was the most impressive guy.
Me and
alive,
Seth said this a couple times today. If we were picking like what strictly a classic physique would be, we both love Logan's physique.
I don't
But if
agree with
we're
that.
we're picking like by the judging criteria, then obviously Mike won.
Yes.
So that's kind of how me and Seth saw it.
Yeah,
Paul,
no.
what did you think of?
Say Mike, even though Mike doesn't, some people say it doesn't fit the classic look. The way he presents that physique,
Yeah, it's
I mean,
amazing.
Perfect.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
perfect. So yeah, and I hands down with Mike.
Definitely a big shout out to Logan. I mean, his conditioning was exceptional.
Yeah.
You don't get to see
I
that
haven't seen
too often. in
No, that was
person.
exceptional.
I think,
Yes.
honestly, I think
11 out of 10.
in 25 years, that might have been, I don't want to say the most shredded, but the best
Especially
peak.
from the back, yeah.
Like the best peak I've ever seen.
Especially for classic. It's
Yeah.
a different kind of conditioning.
Yeah.
Wild. So yeah,
Anyway,
great.
we'll be back tomorrow night, guys. Thanks for watching. That's it.
Namaste.